So as has been historically happening in the house, we do rent rooms out to other tenants. Those tenants generally being friends of ours who we trust and would like to be living with us. So right now we have one person living in the house with myself, Patrick, and Dylan. So she rents one room out of the house, and then we share all common spaces: kitchen, living rooms, dining rooms, bathrooms. We do have one other bedroom that we're using right now as kind of an office space for the person that's living with us. So hypothetically, we could have one other person living with us as well, but having 4 people in a house feels like the right amount for us to each have, our own privacy and enough space to exist. But we did know whenever we bought the house that having someone live with us would be a good source of some additional income just to help cover month-to-month costs associated with owning a house, since we are new homeowners. Whenever we were looking for someone that we knew that was looking for a room to rent, it was really important for us to price the room appropriately. The housing crisis has made prices for apartments in Charlottetown and across Canada just insane. So we set rent at definitely below market level for renting a room. And I think what comes with that is that us being able to find people that we really trust and want to be living with us. And so that we're providing a space for them that is affordable and reasonable and good for them. Also, within the bylaws and within the requirements for operating a co-op, we have to take care to track our finances and meet regularly to fulfill the requirements for being a co-op. So there are a lot of mechanisms and steps that could be easy to skip out and ignore if we weren't part of a co-op that we have to do, which is for the benefit of us in the long run. And one other factor in that is that it brings the cost down anytime there's any work that needs to be done on the house. So you're splitting those costs between 3 or however many members you have. So splitting that cost between 3 people versus taking that on as an individual or as a couple.
The only requirement in terms of meetings yearly is that the co-op has an AGM. So you need to have an AGM and you need to record your meeting minutes. Aside from that, meetings, it's super kind of open-ended. So what we opt for is just regularly communicating. So we have a chat group where we all communicate any issues or anything that's going on. We drop it in the chat and then we try to flag those issues for the other. I think the real key is just open lines of communication. Take nothing personally. People need to be able to communicate their feelings. You don't get upset, you just adjust and move on. Also, equally important to everything else is you need to pay your taxes. So I think the strongest recommendation we can make is just find an accountant, because the accountant will help you through this thing. Corporate taxes have a lot more details than private taxes, so you just definitely want to get some help with that part.
If anybody is interested in reading a little bit more about cooperative homeownership, myself, Patrick, and Dylan created a short guidebook that people can have a read through. The document's available through the PEI Cooperative Council. It's available for anybody who's interested in learning a little bit more about cooperative homeownership and figuring out if it is a choice that may work for you and your peers.